AI is moving so fast, and we have lots of AI news and updates in this video. So without wasting time, let's jump right in. First up, OpenAI just lost one of its top hardware leaders after the company's Pentagon deal. Caitlin Kalinowski resigned after OpenAI agreed to deploy its AI models on the Pentagon's classified cloud networks. In her public posts, she said this was not an easy decision and made clear that her issue was not with the people, it was with how fast this happened. She said AI does have a role in national security, but she drew a line at surveillance of Americans without judicial oversight and lethal autonomy without human authorization. She also said the announcement was rushed without the guardrails defined and called it a governance concern, first and foremost. OpenAI responded by saying the deal includes additional safeguards and repeated that its red lines still block domestic surveillance and autonomous weapons. And that is why this story matters. This is not just another executive exit. It is a very public internal warning about how fast AI is moving into military systems. Next up, Google just gave Sundar Pichai a pay package that could be worth $692 million. And yes, that number is real. Alphabet has structured a new 3-year deal for Pichai that could make him one of the highest paid executives on the planet. The deal includes equity in the self-driving car and drone delivery companies Waymo and Wing. But behind the scenes, this new package shows just how valuable Alphabet thinks his next 3 years could be. Next up, an Australian company called Cortical Labs just launched the CL1. This is the world's first biological computer. It literally fuses living human brain cells with silicon hardware. So here's how it works. They cultivate real human neurons inside a nutrient-rich solution, and these neurons grow directly across a planar electrode array. They don't even need an external computer to run it. The whole thing is self-contained with its own life support system to filter waste and control temperature, keeping the cells alive for up to 6 months. And the crazy thing is, it's insanely efficient. Because it uses real neurons, it learns and adapts dynamically. They are calling this synthetic biological intelligence. They're actually offering this as wetware as a service, meaning you can literally buy time on this biological computer via their cloud platform right now. It is absolutely mind-blowing. Next up, there is an unprecedented surge of AI-generated misinformation about the US-Israel war with Iran. Basically, online creators are using the latest generative AI tech to make ultra-realistic clips and fabricated satellite imagery. They post them on social media to farm views and cash in on the monetization programs. For example, there was a completely fake video claiming to show Dubai's Burj Khalifa skyscraper in flames, and another showing missiles striking Tel Aviv with explosion sounds. Because the barrier to creating these videos has totally collapsed, these clips are getting hundreds of millions of views. The problem has gotten so bad that X actually announced they will temporarily suspend creators from their monetization program if they post AI conflict videos without a label. Next up, Peter Thiel said AI is coming for math people before word people, and now banks are openly talking about what that could look like. Peter Thiel made that point in a resurfaced 2024 interview, arguing that even in fields that still look protected, math-heavy gatekeeping may matter less as AI takes over more technical work. Then Fortune connects that warning to what major companies are saying right now. Fintech firm Block announced a 40% cut to headcount, or about 4,000 jobs, and cited AI models as a top reason. Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan said AI lets the company do more with the same amount of people or fewer people, and said headcount can drift down simply by not hiring. Wells Fargo CEO Charlie Scharf said AI creates places where the bank can do more with fewer people. JP Morgan's CFO said managers were told to avoid hiring as the bank rolls out AI. And Fortune says JP Morgan already has a large language model used weekly by 150,000 employees. But the story also adds an important twist. LinkedIn said that demand for communication and creative thinking is rising, and job posts mentioning storytellers have doubled over the last year. So the warning here is not just about jobs disappearing, it is about which skills are becoming more valuable. Next up, researchers say the current models may have hit a reasoning ceiling that more training data alone will not fix. An international consortium from 32 institutions created the Very Big Video Reasoning Suite, described as the largest dataset for visual reasoning in video so far. It includes over 2 million images, around 1 million video clips, and 200 curated tasks. These tasks test things like puzzles, object rules, physical trajectories, and other forms of visual reasoning. And the results are rough. Humans scored 0.974 overall. OpenAI's Sora 2 scored 0.546. Google DeepMind's Veo 3.1 scored 0.480. Runway Gen 4 Turbo came in at 0.403, and Kling 2.6 scored 0.369. The report says a fine-tuned open-source model, VBVR1 2.2, reached 0.685 and beat every proprietary system in the study. But even that model hit a wall on new task types. The researchers say a core problem is controllability. If a model changes backgrounds, layouts, or object identities while generating a scene, the reasoning built on top of that scene breaks. So this is a huge point. Video models may look amazing, but that does not mean they can actually think through a visual problem reliably. Next up, Axios reports that OpenAI is once more pushing back ChatGPT's adult mode. The company had previously said it wanted to allow erotica and other adult content once it had a system to verify whether users were actually adults. Sam Altman first teased the feature last October. Then, in December, OpenAI moved the launch target to the first quarter of this year while it worked on age estimation systems. And now it is delayed again, so the feature is not canceled. But clearly, OpenAI thinks other parts of ChatGPT matter more right now. Next up, Oracle and OpenAI have dropped a Texas data center expansion plan tied to Stargate. These two companies abandoned plans to expand a flagship AI data center in Texas after negotiations dragged on over financing and because OpenAI's needs changed. This was part of the Stargate initiative, the project described as up to $500 billion and 10 gigawatts, involving SoftBank, OpenAI, and Oracle. The specific Texas expansion that got dropped was an additional potential 600 megawatts near the flagship Stargate site in Abilene. Next up, Meta just silently launched a standalone web app for their Vibes AI video editor. Before this, Vibes was just a simple AI video feed inside the Meta app, but now it's evolving into a full-fledged video creation studio. You get a project-based workflow with a timeline editor, image and video generation, and even lip-syncing tools. This is a huge shift because it turns Vibes into a serious competitor against tools like Runway or Sora. You can generate an image, animate it, add a voiceover, and manage multiple audio and video tracks all in one workspace. Next up, this AI update is super useful if you work at a big company. Anthropic just launched the Claude Marketplace. Think of this as an enterprise app store, but specifically for third-party AI tools powered by Claude. So instead of managing a dozen different contracts with different vendors, companies can use their existing Anthropic budget to buy vetted partner tools like GitLab, Snowflake, and Lovable all in one place. It consolidates billing and completely simplifies the procurement process. Best of all, Anthropic takes zero commission on these sales. They are basically building the ultimate operating system for enterprise AI. Next up, OpenAI announced they are acquiring an open-source AI security platform called Promptfoo. If you've been building AI apps, you know how hard it is to prevent things like prompt injection, jailbreaks, or data leaks. Well, Promptfoo specializes in evaluating and red teaming AI models to find these exact vulnerabilities. OpenAI plans to integrate this technology directly into OpenAI Frontier, which is their platform for building enterprise AI agents. They want to make sure that as companies start handing over real workflows to autonomous AI agents, the security and testing are built natively into the platform. Next up, the Chinese AI startup DeepSeek continues to cook. They just teamed up with Tencent and the University of Hong Kong to release a new open-source AI tool called Pointer-CAD. This framework is built on top of Alibaba's Qwen 2.5 model, and it is a total game changer for computer-aided design. It basically acts as an ultra-smart assistant that helps designers accurately select specific edges or faces of a 3D object. This reduces segmentation errors to an extremely low level and massively speeds up complex geometric modeling for engineering and architecture. The awesome thing is they've open-sourced the code on GitHub for developers to use. Next up, this research proposal is absolutely mind-blowing. Scientists just proposed a crazy idea, using actual quantum computers to generate training data for AI. Specifically, they want to use quantum computers to run highly accurate simulations of chemical systems and then use that pristine data to train classical AI AI models. This perfectly combines the pinpoint precision of quantum mechanics with the lightning speed of standard AI. This could massively accelerate the discovery of new materials and drugs. Think of it as using a quantum supercomputer to write the ultimate perfectly accurate textbook for an AI to study. Next up, a team of student engineers from the University of Southampton in the UK just developed the world's first blockchain-based black box system for drones. Just like airplanes have black boxes to record flight data, this system logs a drone's flight information directly onto a secure, unchangeable blockchain. This is incredibly useful for ensuring safety, tracking accountability, and conducting completely transparent accident investigations. As our skies get more crowded with autonomous drones, this tech is going to be absolutely essential for regulations. Next up, Luma AI dropped their first unified understanding and generation model called Uni-1, and this thing is a beast. Most AI models either generate images or analyze text separately, but Uni-1 is an autoregressive transformer that integrates logic, language, and spatial awareness into one single architecture. It actually performs internal reasoning and plans out the composition before it even starts generating the image. And because of this deep thinking step, it actually outperforms top models like Google's Nano Banana 2 and GPT Image 1.5 on logic-based benchmarks. And it can even take a single reference image and recreate a person aging from childhood to old age. It's a huge step toward multimodal general intelligence. Next up, Andreessen Horowitz just released the 6th edition of their highly anticipated consumer AI top 100 list, and the data is super interesting. ChatGPT is still the undisputed king, crossing a ridiculous 900 million weekly active users, but the gap is definitely tightening. Competitors like Claude and Gemini are gaining serious ground, growing their paid subscriptions by over 200% last year. Also, for the first time ever, a 16Z expanded the list to include traditional apps that have heavily integrated AI, like Canva and CapCut. I'll link the full report below so you can check out the rankings. Next up, OpenAI just launched Codex Security. This is a new application security agent now in research preview for ChatGPT Pro, Enterprise, and Edu users. This acts like a superhuman security guard for your code, builds deep context around your entire project's repository to identify complex vulnerabilities that standard tools completely miss. The best part is that it reduces annoying false positive alerts by over 50% and drops over-reported severity by 90%, so developers don't have to waste time looking at insignificant bugs. Speaking of OpenAI, they also launched a massive productivity hack, ChatGPT for Excel. This is a beta add-in powered by their new GPT 5.4 thinking model that embeds ChatGPT directly inside your Microsoft Excel workbooks. You can just use simple natural language to build financial models, analyze data across tabs, and trace formula logic. The awesome thing is all the calculations stay right inside Excel, so you can still audit the math and verify the outputs yourself. This is going to save finance teams so many hours of manual spreadsheet work. Next up, OpenAI's VP of Research, Max Schwarzer, has officially left the company. He was a major player who led OpenAI's post-training efforts, but in a post on X, he announced he's jumping ship to join rival Anthropic. He basically said he wanted to start fresh and get back into the weeds of technical reinforcement learning research. The talent war between OpenAI and Anthropic is seriously heating up. Next up, Anthropic just dropped Claude Code on their Claude desktop app. Previously, Claude Code was just a command line tool, which was kind of intimidating if you don't like using the terminal. But now, it has a beautiful graphical interface right in the desktop app. You get visual diff reviews to see exactly what code is changing, live app previews, and the ability to run multiple agentic coding sessions in parallel using Git worktrees. It just makes vibe coding so much easier and more accessible. Next up, an open source video generator called Helios, created by researchers at Peking University. This is a 14 billion parameter video diffusion model that can generate minute long videos in true real time. It hits a blazing 19.5 frames per second on just a single H100 GPU. Plus, they figured out how to eliminate the annoying drifting effect that usually ruins long AI videos without using heavy acceleration tricks. The models and code have already been released on Hugging Face. Next up, the Anthropic Frontier Red Team just partnered with Mozilla to let Claude Opus 4.6 audit the Firefox codebase, and the results are insane. In just 2 weeks, Claude discovered 22 zero-day vulnerabilities, including 14 high-severity bugs, found more critical flaws in 14 days than human researchers usually report in an entire month. Mozilla has already pushed out patches in their latest Firefox update, proving that defensive AI is going to totally change the cybersecurity industry. Next up, Anthropic introduced another awesome new feature called Code Review for Claude Code. Available in Research Preview for Team and Enterprise plans, this automatically dispatches a team of AI agents every time a developer opens a pull request. The agents work in parallel to hunt down deep, complex bugs that human reviewers usually miss when skimming code. Anthropic says they use this internally on nearly every pull request, and it jumped their substantive review rate from 16% up to 54%. And that sums up all the highlights in AI. Let me know in the comments what you think. Which news was your favorite, and which tool are you most looking forward to trying out? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.